All right, Scott Hill joins us from the Play On Street Hockey Tournament. From what I understand, he is. Are you in Vancouver or BC, Scott? What's your deal?
Hi, Rod. I'm actually in Calgary. It's great to be with you.
Okay.
It's a true honor. Thank you.
Hey, for me too, buddy. Huge street hockey advocate. Like literally have best of 99 tournaments. My brothers used to tease me about the amount of hours, days, weeks we spent playing street hockey. So it sounds like your event, Play On, is kind of down my alley. What can you tell me about it?
Well, we're going to be friends, Rod. I'll tell you that much.
Good.
I've pretty much given my whole career and life to street hockey. I grew up playing with my brothers and friends in our neighborhood. I had one of those mothers that kicked us outside and said, "Hey, come in at dinner time." And we organized ourselves and played a lot of road puck. And I followed that as a passion. Basically, saw the NBA running a 3-on-3 street basketball event many years ago, and thought, boy, there's 3 hockey players in Canada to every 1 basketball player, or at least there was at the time. Why don't we have a national street hockey tournament? And so, that's really how it all started. I ended up driving out to my truck, or driving my truck out to Halifax, and slept in there for 10 days, promoting on the street corners out front of the Halifax Moosehead games, and ultimately organized the first Play On street hockey event in 2003. And it was a success. And a few years later, the CBC and Hockey Night in Canada took note of the project and became our title sponsor and funder. And we began to roll it out right across the country in Canada. We had more than 2 million people play. So we're just trying to bring it back now after COVID, and we've just relaunched with an event in Vancouver, which is why you thought I was there. And that's a little bit about Play On.
Keep going. I'm spellbound. To the degree that I wrote a letter, I'm trying to remember, to Cooper. And I said, those orange balls for road hockey, when I was like in high school, I said, they hurt too much. Can you make an orange tennis ball? Yeah. Like that's not fun. You get cold, somebody could die. Like, even in the summer, they hurt. Like, can you make a tennis ball that's orange? I never heard back from him, Scott. But I'm a street hockey guy. What?
When I started Play On in 2003, I had the same problem you did, and same with every other kid in the country, right? We need the perfect hockey ball. It doesn't exist. So I go into Canadian Tire and whoever would have expected that there wasn't even a hockey ball for sale. So I found out, after researching this for quite a while, that the best hockey ball in the world, and this is, based on my opinion, but I had like 7 different types of hockey balls, and I was like sampling them all, trying to decide which ball's the best ball. Well, that ball's not made in Canada. It's made in Boston by a company called Milek, and they make 4 different colors of ball, which you choose the color depending on the temperature outside. But the ball that we use for Play On is a liquid-filled, glycerin-injected ball, very low bounce, flies true, and the great thing is, when you block the shot, it doesn't break your leg. So,
God, I admire you. That is the perfect hockey ball. Because people say, use a sponge puck. It doesn't lay flat, especially when you're playing in the street, right? It gets on its edge and it rolls down. That's not a game. So tell me more, man. How can people get involved in this plan? Now you got the perfect ball, too. It sounds like the perfect hockey event. So how can people get involved and get more info?
Well, this event, it grew so much so fast, and obviously didn't operate during the pandemic. And so what we're trying to do is to get Canadians to rally together and unify to bring it back. It's a Canadian event made for Canadians by Canadians. It runs only in Canada. We were able to get some funding from the federal government and the provincial government of BC to operate this year, and we're hoping to roll it out again coast to coast next year. But our website is playon.ca, and it's open to all men, women, boys, girls, all ages, all skill levels. Anybody can sign up a team. You just have to have 4 players to play, and it's just really an event that brings Canadians, brings communities, those who play hockey, those who don't play hockey, we can all play street hockey. And there, as some of our staff like to say, street hockey is a superpower because it really has the capacity to bring us together. So, that's a little bit more about Play On. And again, it's just an honor to be with you today.
I'm getting tingles. This is the quintessential Canadian event. This is what it is. Going coast to coast.
Yeah.
You agree?
I don't know.
Sorry.
I mean, that's like, hockey just means so much to us, right? It's part of our culture. It's part of the fabric of our nation. It's just, with the demographics changing so much in Canada, and there's so many now who just don't skate, won't skate, but watch Hockey Night in Canada, love the game, want to be part of it, and so you blend those people with those of us that may have grown up in this country who just like to go outside and play our favorite sport in the street, and this is what we play. And if we have these events, we create an environment where people want to practice and play and put their shirts together in their own Twitter accounts and their own team names and all these things. And then you kind of create this engine that fuels people playing all year round. And if you don't have the events, then what happens is you stop seeing the street hockey nets in the driveways and the cul-de-sacs, because obviously we're competing with kids and their desires to, play Fortnite and Brawl Stars with all their friends in school. Like we've got to have events like this to bring our country together, to bring our communities together, to get our kids outside playing and connecting with one another.
Yeah, it seems simple, but clearly it's not. Colin in Ottawa writes in, he says, man, I loved street hockey as a kid. It's sad that I never see it being played anymore. That is about to change. And, it's funny what you say about just grab a stick. That's what Peter Worrell, I work with Peter Worrell in Florida with the Panthers, growing the game there where I live. And Peter says, just pick up a stick. You don't got to skate like Nathan McKinnon. Just pick up a stick and play. That's all that we're saying. Scott, we are running out of time, but playon.ca. Anything else in 30 seconds or less?
Love you, Rod. Thanks very much for giving me the opportunity. It's truly an honor. Thank you.
Love you too, pal, man. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Can't wait to hear more, and keep in touch. Please. Scott Hill from Play On, the nationwide street hockey tournament. That was just great.